Hi there. I'm Brian. This is Mark. We're here at Fitness for Life. What are we talking today, boss?
We're going to, the first of a series of exercises for the wrist. But what you're going to notice with these exercises is they are not just wrist specific. So a lot of times you go in the gym and people sitting there and they're just bumping away and all that. And what we want to tell you and show you is that the whole body needs to contribute to these motions for health, because finger joints, the wrist joints, they're small joints. And if the whole body's not contributing to these motions and you're not using everything, it's very easy for those joints and muscles to get overloaded, and then they get painful. So use everything so you spread the forces throughout the whole body. So exercise number one, you're going to do with a couple dumbbells. Now with the dumbbells, what we're going to do though, is you're going to hold them towards the end. So they're going to be offset. So they're going to become a little bit heavier at the end, okay, of the dumbbells. All right, so what Brian's going to do, he's going to take a little step with his left foot, okay, and then with his right hand, holding that on the end, he's going to here. Now, what's important is he's going to swing this down and up. But what you're to notice, though, is he's going to drive this from the ground up, so, and especially through the hips. So it's not sitting here and just swinging your arm and move, letting your wrist move. It's come down, drive that so the arm becomes more weightless. So it more floats as you bring that up. So hip drive. So you can do that on the right arm and then the left arm, and then you can do it both arms together. Any of those three is correct, but it's driving. Wrist is loose. You're letting it just move, but it's all hip driving, popping that. Now, the second part of this, he's going to take and swing them overhead and then swing them back down. But again, drive the hips, make the hips explode. So you lead with the hips and then drive this down. Wrists are just relaxed. Let them move free. All right. That's the first plane. If you remember from past videos, everything we do has 3 planes with it. The next one is a side-to-side plane. So again, holding them offset, I'm going to step out of his way. He's going to take, drive this, just do one arm at a time first, and swing it out. And then from the hip, drive that back down. So he's going to go about halfway up and drive the hip and just letting that wrist be free. But notice all the motion he's getting. The hips start the motion, and then everything follows. And then the second half of this, now he's going to take it more up overhead. And as he gets up there, drive it down. So explode it down. So you've got to control that. There you go. Stay more upright. There. And drive that across. And then you do it with the other arm, and you can then combine the arms together with this. Just like this. Slam it down. Okay, stay more upright. And that's part 2. The third plane, arguably maybe the most important plane because so many functional activities take place in it, is turning. Again, holding that on the end, he's going to just let that right arm free swing. He's going to drive his pelvis. So he's going to lead with the pelvis. So the pelvis explodes first and then the arm follows. He just swing it. Perfect. Just like that. And then you can combine them, both hands together. Now, Brian's got 5-pound weights. Woo! The amount of weight you use, always, our rule, always be safe. It's not going to be how much weight you can use, it's what can you do safely. Typically, 3 to 5 pounds may be a good starting weight, but again, that's just a guide. Everybody's different. It's not how much weight you can use, it's how well you can do it safely. So this is exercise number 1 for wrist. Anything?
If you could maybe mention about what if somebody has some hip problems or maybe can't go that fast? Would it be acceptable just to keep the weight down here and just, are you getting any benefit of doing it just a little bit slower for someone that may have some other issues or a little bit difficulty going through the movement?
So great question. You always move to the motion that you have. Not everybody has the range of motion that Gumby has over here. So what you do is, if this is all you got, this is what you go. But what you're going to find, if you use the whole body, it's a great way of loosening up the hips, because the hips have to move also. The knees are involved in this. The foot and ankles is involved in it. Shoulder blade, the upper back. So that's what I mean by everything contributed. So when you don't just try to isolate a muscle group and let the whole body work, you can smooth out a lot of other things. So even though this is a wrist emphasis, you're training your foot and ankle, you're training your hips, you're training your upper back, you're training the shoulder. Everything gets worked, and this is what it's all about.
What it's all about.
Questions?
No, I think you covered it. Good job.
Okay.
If you have further questions, contact us at fitness4lifept.com.
Mark and Gumby.